Good afternoon and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah, which on Fridays doubles as thought for Shabbat. So glad you're with us this afternoon. We're living in complicated times, to be sure. And these complicated times, we ask ourselves the question, what can I do? What can I do to help solve the problems of the world? Well, today I want to give you 3 answers. The first answer will be to let your voice be heard. The second answer is to learn the subject matter, study. And the last is to give. So 3 issues I want to address today, all very pressing. In the news over the last many weeks has been a subject called ethnic studies. This is an issue that has been around for the last few years, where in the State House of California in Sacramento, they're trying to develop a curriculum called ethnic studies, where they study different cultures, which is all well and good. Except, of course, there are agendas that come with studying certain cultures and not factually based approaches to the study of these cultures. And, of course, Israel and Judaism have been mischaracterized in the past drafts of the curriculum that have been put forward. We have made progress in the last year to change the curriculum so that it's more thoughtful, more fact-based, and less opinion. However, we're not quite there yet, and it is coming up for a vote in this month of March. So I encourage you to learn about this issue and then to reach out to your state legislators. I have put in the chat on Facebook, and of course in the email, if you're receiving it that way, a draft of a possible letter that you might want to send to your legislator. They really do count the number of correspondence they get, and your voice really does make a difference in this government. Don't underestimate it for 1 second. The second issue I want to talk about is what's called BDS, boycott, divestment, and sanctions. This is an issue that has plagued Israel and American colleges over the last decade or more. It's where the college system and or the student government takes a vote to boycott and divest and sanction all companies that have business with Israel, and those companies are also dealing with the university. And unfortunately, this past week, the student government of the University of California at Irvine passed a resolution encouraging and supporting BDS. BDS, some might say, is not anti-Semitic. It's just against the government of Israel, but its roots are deeply anti-Semitic. It is not just a policy difference. Because those who encourage BDS were not able to win by military means, they are trying to win by economic means and make and delegitimize the country known as Israel. And so we have an obligation, if you don't know about this issue, is to study this issue and know this issue. It is a very nuanced issue. And on the face of it might seem a legitimate argument against the government policies of Israel, which anybody could disagree with. But it's much deeper than that. And we as Jews are ambassadors for one another and for our faith. And I believe undergirding BDS is a lot of anti-Semitism. So please make yourself educated. I put one article from the Jewish Journal in the chat and in the email, so check that out. But whether you go to Stand With Us or AIPAC or many, many other organizations who will detail what BDS is all about, it is your responsibility. It is our collective responsibility to know this issue. So first, ethnic studies, let your voice be heard. BDS, study and know the issue. And then the last issue is to give of ourselves. I'm so proud of our congregation that during this pandemic, we have fed thousands and thousands of people, even while we are struggling. We have fed thousands and thousands of people through our Sharing Healthy Meals program. We have a program for Purim known as Matanot Le'Evionim rather, which means giving gifts to the poor. and that is a tradition we have on Purim. Matanot, for hope. That is, we are here to give to those who are having a tough time. And we're going to be supporting the Someone Cares Soup Kitchen. It's a soup kitchen I know very well. For the last 20 years, I have volunteered there. I bring our confirmation class there every year to understand the nuances of homelessness and of food insecurity. So do the mitzvah of giving. It'll make you feel better and it will transform someone's life. I've put the link in the chat and in the email as well so that you can find out more information about how to give on that day of Purim, which I believe is February 28th. So, my friends, I hope and look forward to learning with you, to studying the issues with you, to making your voice be heard, and finally, of course, to give of ourselves. Please join us tonight for Shabbat services at 7:30 on Facebook or on our web player. We will look forward to celebrating Shabbat with you. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Be well. Take care. Shabbat Shalom.